Unknown to most Nigerians, wheat is the third most widely consumed grain in the country. That's coming after maize and rice. But much unlike maize and rice, which are cultivated and grown widely in Nigeria, only 63,000 metric tons of the about 5 to 6 million metric tons of wheat consumed annually in Nigeria is produced locally. This represents about a paltry 1% of total consumption. And since the general food consumption habit of Nigerians can literally not do without wheat and its derivatives, the 99% shortfall in local supply is bridged with wheat imports, on which Nigeria spends a whopping sum of $2 billion annually. This places wheat in the second position on Nigeria's food import bills. Good evening. My name is Chinemerem Joseph, and I welcome you to today's edition of You and the Economy. Understandably, the huge sum of foreign exchange expended on the continued importation of wheat has been a source of deep concern to the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, which core mandates include the management of Nigeria's external reserves. More worrisome is the fact that the demand for wheat is predicted to continue to rise, along with Nigeria's huge population, currently estimated to be over 200 million. To contain the enormous pressure mounted by wheat importation on Nigeria's food import bills, the CBN has taken a decisive step to promote self-sufficiency in wheat production in Nigeria by intervening in its value chain and adding wheat to the list of focal commodities being supported under its agricultural intervention program. This initiative is being driven under the aegis of the bank's Brown Revolution, which was flagged off recently in Kwal, a community in the Basa local government area of Plateau State. Our story tonight is on the inauguration of the Brown Revolution of the CBN and its significance for achieving self-sufficiency in wheat production in Nigeria. Happy viewing.
This wheat farmland in Kwal, a community close to Jos, capital of Plateau State, tells an eloquent story about the string of positive news emanating from the wheat production sector in Nigeria today. On display are the impressive yields of the novel wet season wheat production that was undertaken in some farmlands in Plateau State, including this one, as worthy heralds of the CBN's Brown Revolution. The exercise was conducted to prove that wheat can be cultivated in both wet and dry seasons in Nigeria. The positive outcome successfully laid to rest the previous widespread misconception that wheat can only be cultivated successfully once a year, and that is during the dry Harmattan season alone, thus providing a veritable proof that a revolution can indeed be staged in wheat production in Nigeria. No wonder then that this symbolic wheat farmland in Kwal, Basa local government area of Plateau State was chosen as venue for the flag-off of Nigeria's Brown Revolution, an initiative of the CBN. The Brown Revolution, also known as the Nigerian Brown Revolution, seeks in the first instance to reduce wheat importation by 60% in 2 years. The ultimate goal, however, is to eliminate wheat importation totally, or reduce its share of Nigeria's food import bills to an insignificant proportion within 3 years. The revolution will extend the availability of high-yield seeds variety to 150,000 farmers, cultivate 180,000 hectares of land, and expand the frontiers of wheat production in Nigeria by bringing in an additional 15 states into the wheat production net, up from the present number of 16. But that is not all. The Brown Revolution also targets annual savings of $2 billion in foreign exchange, which otherwise would be expended on the importation of wheat by Nigeria. To achieve its sterling goals, the CBN took some concrete measures to lay a solid foundation for the success of the Brown Revolution preparatory to its flag-off. These defining steps included ensuring the availability of high-yield seeds. This it did by financing seed multiplication and establishing seed ripple centers. Through collaboration with state governments and relevant federal agencies, the CBN also expanded the total hectare of land set aside for wheat cultivation to a capacity that can generate enough yields to meet domestic demands. It is pursuing strategic collaboration with key stakeholders in the wheat value chain for the sustainability of local production. To further provide a robust foundation for the Brown Revolution, the CBN and its partners undertook an elaborate seed multiplication program that has already increased the national stock of high-yield seeds variety to about 20,000 metric tons. And knowing fully well that good agronomic practices are critical to the success of the Brown Revolution, the CBN and one of its partners in the initiative, Flour Mills Nigeria PLC, engaged the services of international experts to train over 100 Nigerians as extension service officers on practical best practices on wheat production. The high hopes of stakeholders for the success of the Brown Revolution were underscored by its colorful and well-attended flag-off ceremony. Besides, the event not only marked the flagging off of the Brown Revolution, it also flagged off the 2021/2022 dry season wheat farming in the country. Flagging off the Brown Revolution, President Muhammadu Buhari, who was represented by Plateau State Governor Right Honorable Simon Lalong, said the future of Nigeria is in agriculture and described the flag-off event as a pointer to the fact that the nation is on the right path towards realizing that desired future. President Buhari decried the fact that Nigeria is currently spending over $2 billion on the importation of wheat annually, making the importation of the commodity one of the key avoidable contributors to import bills in the country. The President pledged that one of the legacies his administration is determined to bequeath to Nigerians is zero importation of wheat, and promised that the administration will collaborate with the stakeholders to ensure that the laudable objective was achieved. President Buhari was optimistic that the Brown Revolution will lead to the attainment of self-sufficiency in wheat production in Nigeria and the realization of its attendant benefits.
The federal government is committed to the continued support for the agricultural sector to ensure sustainability of food security efforts, contribute to foreign reserve accretion, and ultimately support the growth of the Nigerian economy. The private sector is also encouraged to key into agricultural financing initiatives provided by the CBN and other government agencies. Ladies and gentlemen, with this ongoing initiative, we will no doubt attain self-sufficiency in wheat production, attract more players to the wheat value chain, and foster job creation in Nigeria.
Delivering the keynote address at the event, CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, who was ably represented at the momentous event by Deputy Governor, Corporate Services of the Apex Bank, Edward Adamo, said President Muhammadu Buhari's commitment to economic diversification motivated the CBN into embarking on the Brown Revolution initiative. The CBN governor noted that President Buhari's mantra that Nigerians should produce what they eat and eat what they produce energized the CBN to push for the Brown Revolution initiative so that Nigeria could record another landmark achievement in the annals of crop production in the country. Emefiele also spoke on the significance of the day's event and promised that the bank will not rest on its oars in expanding the frontiers of wheat production to new areas of the country.
Today's event is auspicious in a lot of ways as it heralds the commencement of our Brown Revolution journey, which is our mantra for repositioning wheat production in Nigeria. It is also the first major wet season wheat production in Nigeria, with over 700 hectares under cultivation here in Kwal, Kasa, Jol, Kafi Abu and Sob in Jos, Plateau State. While the short-term implication of this will result in the addition of over 2,000 metric tons of wheat seeds to our national seed stock, the country over the next year will be able to add 750,000 metric tons of wheat annually to its output through rain-fed wheat cultivation in Plateau State, Mambila in Taraba State, Obudu in Cross River State. The bank will not rest its oars as we continue to work with our partners, the Lake Chad Research Institute, to expand the frontiers of wheat production in Nigeria to include other areas like the northern Oyo State, Kogi, Kwara. We are hopeful that with the right technology and agronomic practices, we can change the narrative and develop 2 wheat cropping cycles to support our aggressive drive to bridge the wheat demand-supply gap in Nigeria.
Commending the roles of stakeholders in making the CBN's intervention in wheat production possible, Governor Emefiele appreciated the government and people of Plateau State for their relentless support for the project. He notified the state governor of the CBN's interest in accessing additional land in Plateau State for commercial wheat production. Emefiele also recognized the vital roles played by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, as well as its parastatals, for their commitment to the project. Stakeholders in the private sector, particularly flour mills of Nigeria, were also recognized for their salutary roles in birthing the Brown Revolution. In a welcome address delivered earlier, Plateau State Commissioner for Agriculture and Rural Development, Dr. Jose Estefanos Finangwe, said he considered it a great privilege for the CBN to have chosen Plateau as the host state for the flag-off of the Brown Revolution, noting that it showed that the CBN acknowledged the enormous potentials of the state in the field of agriculture. Dr. Finangwe expressed his optimism that the Brown Revolution will take agriculture to the next level in Nigeria. Goodwill messages were delivered at the event too. Speaker of the Plateau State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Yakubu Sanda, thanked President Muhammadu Buhari for supporting the Brown Revolution, a gesture that the Speaker described as worthy and which he said made it possible for the CBN to flag off the initiative in Plateau State. Honorable Sanda gave his assurance that the people of Plateau State will support the initiative, thereby not letting the President down in his resolute hope for the success of the revolution.
Thank you very much.
The National President of Wheat Farmers Association of Nigeria, Salam Mohammed, pledged the commitment of the association to the realization of the aims, objectives and targets of the Brown Revolution.
Nigeria has the potential to grow wheat in terms of land resources, human resources, and now the financial constraint has been taken over by the CBN Governor, Chief Godwin Obepili. So at this juncture, I would like to appreciate our profound and sincere appreciation to the facilitators of this program, and also hope to say that we will demonstrate the best we can to show Nigeria and the world over that we can grow wheat, we can feed ourselves with wheat, and we can even start thinking of exporting wheat into this country.
The royal class also lent its revered support to the Brown Revolution. In his goodwill message, the paramount traditional ruler of Jos and chairman Plateau State Traditional Council of Chiefs and Emirs, His Majesty, the Bongom Jos, Da Jacob Buba Gyang, urged the CBN to put measures in place to ensure that the credit facilities it has earmarked for the implementation of the Brown Revolution actually got to the farmers who really need them. The Bongom Jos appealed to the CBN to moderate what he described as the overbearing influence of commercial banks, whom he accused of usually creating bottlenecks, which made it difficult for farmers to access the credits that the CBN had earmarked for them to drive its intervention programs.
Let us make sure that these facilities get to the actual people who own farmlands, not people who will just go and become a stumbling block to the purpose for which Mr. President, the CBN, and the governors are keying into this project. With the production of wheat, just like any other crops, we know that other allied industries will come up, processing industries, manufacturing industries, and this will also help on unemployment. On behalf of the Plateau State Council of Chiefs and Emirs, I want to sincerely say that as traditional rulers, we are very, very pleased with this program, with the federal government's initiative, with the CBN, and with our own governor for keying into this. And we are ready to also key into it, educate our own people, and ensure that the proper thing is done.
The goodwill message of the Lake Chad Research Institute, Maiduguri, a key stakeholder in Nigeria's wheat value chain, was delivered by former executive director of the institute and now a leading consultant on wheat value chain, Dr. Oluwashino Olabanji. Dr. Olabanji observed that although Nigeria had great potential in wheat production, she needed to grow the potential to reap its benefits and achieve self-sufficiency in food production. He commended the efforts of the CBN in developing the potential in wheat production in the period leading to the launch of the Brown Revolution. According to Dr. Olabanji, the measures taken by the CBN in that regard included the introduction of rain-fed wheat farming and the provision of high-yielding seed variety from Mexico, adding that with the escalation of these measures, alongside the Brown Revolution, soon Nigeria will no longer need to import wheat.
We have the potential, but we don't eat potential, we grow it. We have 1.2 million hectares of land suitable for wheat production in this country. And if we can attain 5 tons per hectare, are we there or we are not there? Our consumption is about 5.2 million tons. We are already there. I can assure you, with the political will of the present government, if we continue in the next 3 years, I can assure Nigerians that we will attain far above 60% self-sufficiency in this country in Jesus' name. So, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to let you know that Lake Chad Research Institute has enough materials that we can give to our farmers. We are cultivating, Lake Chad Research Institute is cultivating about 3,000 hectares for seed production only this season. And I believe other stakeholders like Flamil, they are also cultivating. So I can assure you, within the next few years to come, Nigeria is going to be self-sufficient in wheat production.
To reassure the farmers that will partake in the Brown Revolution of availability of market for their wheat produce, a Memorandum of Understanding (MOU) was signed to guarantee the offtake of the farm yields. Signatories to the MOU are the Wheat Farmers Association of Nigeria, Flour Millers Association of Nigeria, and Afex Commodities Exchange, a key player in the private sector arm of the commodities market. In a vote of thanks, the Director, Development Finance Department CBN, Yila Yusuf, who was represented by Chika Nwanja, a Deputy Director and Head, Retail Agric Credit of Department, said the journey of the CBN into agriculture financing was not accidental, adding that it was in line with its mandate to ensure the stability of food prices across the nation. Nwanja thanks the government and people of Plateau State for providing the CBN with enabling environment to conduct its exercise in wet season wheat farming, an initiative that tested the ground for the launch of the Brown Revolution. He also spoke on the significance of the MOU that was signed at the event.
Today we saw symbolic signing of the MOU for offtake of wheat that's produced from all the farms that will be under. That is the essence of our Bohari's program, ensuring there's a linkage between the farmers and the market. Before now, farmers produce without having a market, but today we are saying, before you start production, there's already a market for you, and that linkage has been made, and that's what we have today. And that's the only way we can sustain production and employment that we seek to in our agric interventions.
The historic event was rounded off with a symbolic planting of high-yielding variety of wheat seeds. That ceremony was led by representative of President Buhari, Right Honorable Simon Lalong, the Governor of Plateau State. He was supported by other dignitaries at the event, including the representative of CBN Governor, Edward Adamu. In a parley with the media, the national president of the Wheat Farmers Association of Nigeria, Salim Mohammed, spoke on the significance of the flag-off of the Brown Revolution.
Coming of this Brown Revolution has indicated a step forward that wheat can be grown 2 times in the season, in the wet season as well as in the dry season. And everybody knows, we all know that the challenge that this country is facing over the wheat importation. But now the CBN has proved beyond reasonable doubt that we can grow wheat in Nigeria, reduce the import bill, or come even at a time, we are even thinking of a time whereby Nigeria will start exporting wheat outside the country, because we have the potential. The land is available, the farmers are there, they have been trained under several innovations, under several agencies within and outside the country. We are willing, and CBN now is aft and coming.
The media also took on CBN's Chika Nwanja on whether the bank's intervention in wheat production will translate to affordable prices for the commodity when it hits the market.
That's the OLSS. CBN gives out its facilities at 5%, which is below market rate, and the OLSS is to translate that low cost of financing cost to the market, and we've been doing that. If you follow our Anchor Bohari's program, we'll have strategic maize reserve, for instance, where we sell maize below the market price. Where market is doing like 200, we sell at 150. What we want to achieve, we ensure that households have food at affordable prices. We understand the things are hard in the economy, and our journey is to ensure that there's price stability across the country, and food prices are a major component of our inflation basket. So if we're able to target food prices, we're targeting food prices to ensure that we have at the minimum food that has stores at affordable prices, and that's the whole essence of our intervention in the agric chain.
Welcome back. The impressive turnout of stakeholders at the flag-off of the Brown Revolution suggests one clear thing. Like all others before it, the CBN attaches great importance to the initiative, hence it was able to secure the buy-in of vested interest groups for the takeoff of the revolution. It is obvious that stakeholders eagerly look forward to the success of the revolution so that the importation of wheat and its derivatives into Nigeria can become a thing of the past. And in the dogged pursuit of the realization of what he is fond of describing as his own selfish interest, that is, the complete stoppage of the otherwise avoidable and unnecessary commitment of Nigeria's scarce foreign exchange resources to import commodities which the country can easily and readily produce to meet her needs, it can be said that the CBN Governor, Godwin Emefiele, will spare no effort in ensuring the success of the Brown revolution. For further information on the Brown Revolution or other CBN policies and intervention programs, please log on to the CBN website. It's www.cbn.gov.ng or call the CBN Contact Center on 0700-225-5226. Now, next week is another date with us when we bring you yet another exciting story on the program. Until then, it's goodbye for now.